Hey guys, ladies and gentlemen, hope you're having a wonderful day, and welcome to a kind of like special, just like of like a quick announcement that I want to, well, not really a quick announcement because I'll be going through a few things, but most notably is that if you all know, the New Year's is coming up. Actually, for me, it's 31st, so um, I hope you're really excited for New Year's. I'm really excited for New Year's. I hope y'all have planned your New Year's resolutions. All right, your New Year's resolutions is very important, right? Y'all, whatever you do in life, you need to have a plan for it. All right, y'all gotta be doing them New Year resolutions, right? Doesn't matter. It can be something simple. It can be something that you've wanted to do, but you just kind of left in the back burner. Come on, just now is the year to do it. All right, now is the year to put aside all the laziness and start. All right, day one. We if we all let's just all collectively decide. All right, y'all don't have to do anything special. Just don't need to comment or anything. Just know. All right, when you're watching this, let's just all decide. We're gonna for New Year's resolution, we're gonna commit to doing at least one thing. At least one thing that we've always been wanting to do. And I guess I just hope that we can all achieve our New Year's resolution, all right? That's our goal. Our goal is to at least achieve one New Year's resolution by 2027, all right? We set it out tomorrow or January the 1st, 2022. We're going to set out our New Year's resolution, and we're going to commit till the end. We're going to commit to the end, all right? And speaking of New Year's resolution, because this is what I want to talk about actually, is my New Year's resolution. Well, I have many in general, but what you can be expecting from a language nerd like me, obviously, is that my New Year's resolution is gonna be about language. Is It's bound to be about languages, right? And here's something that I've been wanting to kind of do for quite a while. Let me just center the camera, but I've been thinking of, well, because if you've watched my channel, you've obviously seen my Russian learning videos. Not really over learning videos, but I've been talking a lot in Russian, and you can see my Russian series. You can see that I'm like dabbling in linguistic stuff too, by the side. And I've thought long and hard about this, and I'll give you my reasoning, later on. But I've decided for my New Year's resolution 2026, I'm gonna be learning Polish. Yep, Polish. Yeah, I'm gonna be learning Polish. And I wanted to give y'all a kind of breakdown on my kind of thought process behind this choice, why I really wanted to learn Polish and not the other languages, what was my thinking process. And because when people often think of like learning languages, I mean, there are obvious popular ones. Obviously, you've got, well, we're mostly like English speaking, I think so. We've got languages like, if you're in America, maybe you want to learn Spanish to connect with a lot of the Hispanics in Mexico, maybe in Latin America. You have like these popular options, but I always feel that Polish is never really a popular option, and I can see why myself. I mean, Spanish and French and Chinese and Russian, these are all like really global languages. So. And I've also got this talk kind of like to me as well, in like by my family and by uh, people that I meet. I always get this question from my family and from my friends. They're like, "Hey, why are you learning Russian?" I mean, there in my country, there's way more popular languages. There's way more popular languages, right? You've got Korean, Japanese. Those like really popular. And by the way, a lot of my friends are actually studying either Korean or Japanese. Like if like of all the people that I meet that are learning a new language in my country, it's either Korean or Japanese or a dialect of Chinese. Like these are like just the popular choices, all right? Every country has like popular choice. America is always like Spanish, and in Europe it's always like, well, I guess English, because everyone's trying to get good at their English, obviously. But you never really hear people learning Russian, And when I talk about Polish, it's an even worse case. Like Russian, you could kind of justify. It's a UN like major language. It's got quite a decent diaspora across the globe. But Polish is it's one of those things where it's really specialized because you're never gonna really find Polish elsewhere in Poland. And that is something that I did take into account when making this decision. Obviously, I knew that Polish is gonna be really difficult to practice. In fact, I took this decision without really considering like talking to natives because when I was learning Russian too, I guess like I didn't talk to anybody, right? I don't know if you know this, but I've never really talked to a Russian native before. Like it seems strange when I'm like learning the language and all, but no, I've never met a Russian native. I don't know. Singapore is not known for Russian speakers. I've not seen a Russian native like in Singapore. I've maybe like heard of like a few tourists that come to Singapore, but like Russian itself as a language here is rare. So rare that I think some like tuition is even kind of impossible. Like Russian tuition is either non-existent or it's like really expensive, and I just don't want to get into that kind of prices. So, Polish is always gonna be a lot harder, and I'm always gonna get the question of why am I learning XXX language? And for Polish, I guess I can come up with a few reasons. Obviously, there are reasons why I want to learn Polish. I like Polish culture. I've heard of stories in the past, stories of like um, Polish history in general. I was very interested in Polish history actually, learning about World War II and learning about their independence even before World War II. It was quite a struggle. Um, well, it was pretty nice, but really, I don't have much of a connection with Polish in general. So it seems really weird for me to be learning Polish, but ultimately, I think this just comes down to why I actually do learn a language. And because most people usually tend to learn a language because of maybe familial reasons. They've got relatives that speak the language, or maybe they've got friends that speak the language, or they like the culture. So it's always something that's more like physical, that tends to draw them in, that tends to attract them into learning a new language. And I guess I have to kind of ask myself too, because I mean, Polish isn't gonna be the only time that I'm learning a new language. So I have to kind of ask myself like, why do I learn languages? Now, um, Polish isn't the first language I've learned. I've learned Spanish as well as Russian. And I think that my reasoning for learning languages, it's not really much of a cultural thing. I mean, I do love Polish culture, but I don't really know much about it. And a culture I feel is more of like you learn a language and then maybe you'll pick up some cultural things in a way. But for me, as a language learner, I always found my motivation for learning languages to be the challenging aspect. And I think I'll use my Russian examples because I actually learned Russian not for any particular reasons to Russia or like the culture itself, but I honestly like freaking like honest to heart like I study Russian because they told me the grammar was difficult. That is let it sink in, alright? I learned the language because they told me it was difficult. And when I say it out loud, it sounds kind of weird. It sounds kind of like stupid. Like, well, that's a stupid reason. You're just like a masochist. You just love what you love to torture yourself. But then I kind of realized that it's the reason why I love language, like learning languages, because I know people are always talking about, you know, learning languages for as like to talk to people or to, and these are all, by the way, these are all like valid reasons. I mean, I think it's valid for you to learn a language to talk to someone in their native language. I mean, that's like kind of what you're supposed to do. But for me, I think it was the challenging aspect, because I always viewed learning a difficult language as overcoming an obstacle. It's like, for me, like learning Russian grammar was like overcoming a really cool, like nice obstacle. It's like difficult, yes, but it's so fascinating in a sense. And I think that's the same that goes for Polish, is that, well, Russian and Polish do have similar grammar, so I guess for me it'll be that much easier, but it's still, I really wanted to give myself that kind of challenge still. I still wanted, fairly challenging, a language with some fairly challenging grammar, and I do hear that, more specifically in pronunciation, if you've ever heard Polish words, like if you've ever heard those memes of freaking Grzegorz Brzezinskiewicz, like freaking keyboard spam, like you know that this language has the most like insane pronunciation ever. And I guess that's sort of like the reason, I guess that was sort of like my attraction to Polish. It was, I guess, a challenge. I mean, I'm always looking to challenge myself, so I guess I kind of seen Polish as sort of challenge, like a self, like something that can like challenge my pronunciation, right? Because Russian was all about grammar, but now Polish is gonna be all about my pronunciation, right? Polish is notoriously difficult to pronounce. So I guess in a way it's not really tied much to. Alright, I will say though, I that doesn't mean I don't like Polish culture. I mean, I'll actually share with you something really cool. Here it is. My earliest interaction, because I don't really know much about Polish, but I think my earliest like interest at all in Polish was when I received, or when I played this, when our conductor gave us this song. Uh, oh no, it's all flipped. All right, but I'll just read it to you. It's called "The Trumpeter of Krakow," and basically, it was like the director just gave us a quick rundown, but like the song was about. It's a story about a trumpeter that on, okay, so in Krakow there's a tower. There's a tower, and a trumpeter usually plays on top of the tower every single time there is like an emergency. Like, let's say there's like an invasion. So one day there was an invasion from the Mongolian horde. So what the trumpeter had to do was alert the citizens. So in order to alert the citizens as quickly as possible, the trumpeter played the trumpet to just warn everyone. It's like the trumpet played really loudly. But in the end, the trumpeter was like shot in an arrow, and, well, I guess, well, kind of died. But now in Poland, they actually do celebrate the trumpeter still, and in the trumpeter's honor, a trumpeter will play at the top of the exact same tower every single hour of the day, as a form of like tribute. And it's like a really, you know it's a really like niche tale. I mean, actually, it's still visible. You can actually visit this tower. It's in Krakow. Like, I've never been to Poland, so I don't know what it looks like from firsthand. But like, I really want to go there. It looks cool as hell. But I think like it was one of the big like things I ever first discovered about Poland's history. Like this song, and by the way, the song is like cool as frick. I mean, I've played on the saxophone. It sounds cool as frick. But you can give it a watch if you're interested. Yeah. So going, I don't want to stray too much, but basically that's some really cool Polish history lesson, whatever, for you guys if you're ever interested, in knowing a bit more about Polish culture and stuff. But just to sum it up, all right. By the way, I did say that my big motivation is learning like difficult languages, so freaking Russian and obviously Polish. But like, I know there are like obviously people that are gonna ask, why aren't you learning Arabic, the hardest grammar system in the world, freaking Navajo? And they're all legit like they're all legit questions, and my answer is, um, 2026 just so happens to be the year where I'm gonna have a lot of exam stress. All right. Next year is gonna be my second year in college, which means you have to take a really like stressful exam. It's a really big exam that decides if you get to go to university or not. And I mean, I want to learn a language as much as the next language learner, but with all the exam stress, I actually factored that in as well because I know that I'm probably not gonna be able to work on linguistics and the stuff that I like. I'm probably not gonna be able to work on this channel as much, because of the stuff in school. So in the future, I would like to, learn more of these languages. I would love to learn Arabic, by the way. I love Arabic. It sounds absolutely freaking beautiful. I don't know anything of what they're saying, but low key, I'm really interested. Arabic has like a really cool writing system, and it sounds really cool. And low key, if like in maybe in a few years time when I got much more free time than like right now, I will definitely learn Arabic. It is literally on my bucket list. All right, I will learn Arabic. All right, trust me. But for now, I guess that's another thing that I consider when picking Polish is that Polish is really in some ways like similar to Russian. I've been studying Polish for quite a couple of days now. It's like and it's really weird to say because I know Polish is in Russian, but I hear like some Russian in Polish, and then I just hear like nonsense, and then I hear like, oh my, it sounds so much like Russian, but I can't grasp it. It's like I know what the word is. Maybe I don't know. It sounds like I should know, but I don't know. But that's another thing is that since Polish is obviously so close to Russian, I feel it's a bit more easier for me to learn if I'm gonna be committing much more time on my studies than on linguistics and stuff. So, yeah, that's another reason. So it's like I want a language that's difficult, but not that difficult. But still, I want to give myself that challenge. And hey, I mean, I'm loving the Slavic languages. All right, so why not just give it a go? Yeah, so that's my whole rant about Polish, but in general, I don't think you'll be seeing a lot of content on my channel about Polish, um, simply because I don't have the vocabulary yet. I've been studying for quite some time, but like quite some time as in like 1 week. Like that's literally baseline. Freaking, I know like a couple of words, but like I don't expect me to like come up with like a whole speaking Polish until I get better series in like at least this year. Like I'm not. I mean next year because this year is 2025, but I'm not gonna be that good in Polish for at least until a couple like months actually. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to make a series like that, and I'm probably not gonna be able to make Polish content in that case. Like, so don't expect me to come up with like speaking Polish kind of videos. But that might come in my linguistics actually, because if I find out something that's really interesting in Polish and I want to showcase it to you, then I'll probably make a really nice short about it. And I kind of want to let y'all guys know too that there's some weird shit happening in Polish. That's kind of the second thing I want to talk about is, I guess, content in general on this channel. Like I said, there's gonna be a lot less time. I'm on a huge academic grind uh to complete the big exams and to get good results. So I'm probably not gonna have a lot of time on the channel. That being said, I think I have quite a few ideas actually. I have a few ideas for like really big videos that I'm trying to do And obviously there's a bunch of shorts that I want to do. Like I've recently kind of like taken a break from doing the linguistic shorts, not because I really hate them or anything. I guess it's just like burnout. I'm just kind of burnt out from all the things. If you didn't know, or well, you probably didn't know, but the last few shorts I've been doing was like freaking, I don't know, 3 days later or 4 days later. It's like I did them so frequently that I'm just kind of like burned out, and I'm just trying to. I guess right now it's just linguistic shorts is just like alright, when I find something interesting, that's when I'm gonna upload onto linguistic shorts. But like until I find something that's interesting, obviously, and I guess I can't really predict when that's gonna happen. So don't expect like a weekly schedule or like a very strict schedule of like when I'm gonna upload shorts. It's mostly gonna be like when I find time to, and right now I am really busy actually. I have to complete my schoolwork, bro. I have to complete my school. I have still not locked in on that. But yeah, that's basically all of what I want to talk about my New Year's resolution. Obviously gonna be Polish. Obviously gonna be running this channel because I am not quitting YouTube, guys. Don't worry, I am not quitting the linguistic grind. I wanna spread my love of this uh my love for linguistics with everyone on the internet, bro. Everyone should know about linguistics. Shit is so cool, bro. But yeah, my time on YouTube is only just begun, right? I'm gonna make more videos in the Big 26, all right? Don't worry. And I'm definitely gonna study Polish, and yeah, I think that's mostly what I wanted to talk about. Basically, a few of the things that you can likely expect on the channel. It's just a bit more videos, a bit more shorts in that aspect, but they're mostly gonna be about linguistics. So if you're really excited for that, well, I mean, you can subscribe, you know. Yeah, but I think that's pretty much about it. Yeah, bye. Yo, yo, bro, I'm such a dumbass. I hit buy. I was freaking about to record. I was about to edit shit, and I just realized, bro, I made a whole video talking about learning Polish, and I didn't even show my Polish. All right, now don't expect the freaking best Polish you've ever seen from a native. All right, I'm not a native, and I've only been studying for a week. All right, but I think it's only fair that I try and start a freaking talk here, alright, in Polish, alright. So, without further ado, hejka, cześć, e, e, to jest polski, prawda? E, e, ja e, wszystko, co ja говорю сейчас w what the hell? Nie wiem, co ja robię. Sorry. Ja, prawda, no, ale prawda, nie wiem tyle słów, ale ja chcę, um, ale um, chcę nauczyć этот język, bo ja lubię polski, ja lubię język polski i ja lubię этот этот язык и uh, надеюсь, 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 что um, я смогę, надеюсь, что я смогę в przyszłość ja mogę w przyszłość um, na polskim e, nadzieję, to ja mogę w przyszłość говорить na polskim. Yo, that's all I know, bro. I freaking wait. Do I even know how to say bye? Oh hell no, bro. Alright, just bye, bro. Just freaking bye, bro. Shit sucks.